Memphis and head coach Mike Norvell. Memphis is 3-2 overall, 0-2 in the American. Tigers played Friday at Tulane. Tulane won the game 40-24. Up next for Memphis, they'll be back at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium Saturday against UConn. It'll be a 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central start on CBS Sports Network. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you take a minute to tie up the game at Tulane, please. And we expect to see you as you're back at home on Saturday to take on the Huskies.
Most definitely. Obviously it was a disappointing performance there Friday night. You got to give a lot of credit to Tulane, their coaching staff and players for performing at a high level, but it was a very uncharacteristic game for how we played, and we didn't execute very well in really any phase. It was disappointing to going on the road and to not play at a very high level. But coming back home here this week, we've got to make sure that we're focused on the little things, going out playing at a high level with great intensity. We know that it's going to be a matchup of two teams that are hungry for a victory, and we've played well at times this season, just not consistently enough. And that's something that is a challenge to all of our coaches, all of our players, and we've got to go out and play at a high level here this week.
We'll take questions for Coach Mike Norvell. Please, *1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue. The operator will introduce you.
Brian Moss with TigerSportsReport.com.
Hey, Coach, how has the players responded since that game in practice?
We had one practice there yesterday, and I thought everybody's disappointed, and the reality is you go watch the film, and like I always tell them, we are what we see, and it's a little bit of a reality check, and exactly the level of what we played, and so we have to get better. We can't take anything for granted. You can't rely on any expectation or to go into a game and just think that it's going to be easy. It's going to be a challenge in our league. Every opponent's going to play at a high level, and so we've got to come back and go to work, clean up the details, and make sure we're playing at a high level so that we can have a chance for success.
Yeah, and you mentioned before it was uncharacteristic of your team to play that way. You gave up 7 sacks. When you reviewed the film, was it more of what you guys didn't do, or more of what Tulane did?
Probably a combination. You don't want to can't take away any credit, from them. I mean, they went out and they did perform at a high level, but I think when you give up that many sacks, I mean, everybody wants to point to one place, and really it's a combination of all. I mean, there were times that we had good protection. We did not get separation on the perimeter, and obviously you had coverage sacks. There were times that we had a mistake up front, and whether it was a running back or an offensive lineman, tight end, that gave up pressure that forced the quarterback to have to move in the pocket. And then there was times that I thought that we didn't do a very good job in the pocket with our movement at quarterback. So it's really a combination of all of them. There's things that when you get behind like we did, especially there. In the fourth quarter, late third or fourth quarter, where we were dropping back more, I really let them tee off, on their pass rush, and we're trying to get back in the game there late, but that kind of attributed to it as well. But everybody has a role in it. So like I said, it's we've got work to do. We've got to get that corrected and move forward.
And there was a bright spot on defense. I think Bryce Huff, played tremendous. If you could talk about his game a little bit.
Bryce was extremely productive. He made a lot of plays. Had multiple TFLs, a couple quarterback sacks. He played. Bryce played hard the entire game. There were still some mistakes that were made that I think he left some production out on the field. That plays that I know that he'd like to have back. But on the flip side, the thing I was pleased with Bryce is just I thought his effort in pursuit of the ball is what even overshadowed some of the mistakes that were made at times, and that's something that we got to continue to improve improve with our details. But I think Bryce is showing that he can be a very consistent performer at a high level, and I love the motor which he's playing with.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Do you have other questions for Coach Norvell, please? *1 on your telephone keypad, if so. Coach, I'll just throw the next one out if I can. Maybe just do a deeper dive on what you see out of UConn. It looks from these eyes kind of a young defense kind of thrown into the deep end and trying to tread water a bit. But on offense, certainly some playmakers and some guys in the skill positions who are capable of doing some pretty good things. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, you see a team that's they played an extremely tough schedule, and they've been on the road. They've had to. I think every team that they've played has been undefeated at the time that they've matched up against them, and they are playing with some youth at spots, but it is a talented youth, and so as you see each week, the confidence is growing in what they're being asked to do. They play hard. They've got some explosive playmakers on offense. It starts with their quarterback. He's a dynamic young man that can not only he throw it extremely well, but he also is a threat. When he pulls the ball down to run, and so you got to be able to keep him corralled and contained. And they do have some big receivers that have big play capabilities. A couple of tight ends that I definitely like. And so at the end of the day, like I said, this is going to be a matchup of two teams that are definitely hungry for a victory, and we've got to go out there and play at a high level. And obviously, I know UConn's going to do the same thing.
Thank you. We can take one more for Coach Norvell, please.
Thank you. Rob Fisher with Sport 56.
Coach, offensively, is there anything you have to evaluate identity-wise, or is it just a matter of executing better?
I think we do have to do a much better job in our consistent execution. I mean, we've shown flashes of big play capability. We started off for the first play of the game, and you had an explosive run, and then we come back. I think as the next 8 or 9 runs, and we're averaged just a little over a yard per carry, and so it was that's something that we've got to do a much better job. Obviously, there's things that defensively that were presented that created some of that of the lack of establishing the run at a high level, but we just got to continue to work on our consistency, making sure we're doing the little things that that has allowed us to be very explosive. You look at our football team, and there's we've had some extreme highs, and then in a couple of games have not played at a very good or at a very high level, and so it's just really focusing on us, making sure that we're maintaining the consistency in how we prepare, and the way that the mentality of which we play with to be able to continue the high standard which we expect.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, thanks as always for your time today. I look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday.